What's up, family? Come on in. Make sure y'all hit the like button and share so we can get this going. We're going to have a presentation today. I think I'm going to put this right here. I had this on my table. Let me move this. Hello. Make sure y'all liking the video. Oh, hello, family, conscious family. This video, again, is only for the chosen. All else will fail to understand what I'm going to say today. But this video is much needed. Let me see. Can I change something? So today we're going to be getting into, hello everybody. Today we're going to be getting right into the information today. So I've been getting a lot of pushback on something, and I want y'all to comment down. People feel like if you tell someone that they're chosen, then you're encouraging an inflation of the false ego. So we're going to be breaking down what it means to be the chosen and who the chosen are. And then we're going to pick it up from there. If you have any comments, questions you want to ask now before we get started, feel free to go ahead and do that. And if not, that's fine too. I want to interact with all of you. I want to talk to everybody. So make sure if you got anything to say, you say it. All right. I had a whole presentation hooked up for y'all, but I'm going to have to go through it manually myself. Hello to everybody who is subscribed and who does follow. We're going to get into today, and if you want to hop on, you may. But let's talk about the chosen. So you hear a lot of people who are spiritualists, a lot of people who are conscious, and they talk about the chosen. This is a very religious term. This is a very spiritual term. So we want to talk about 8 things today. Okay? So everybody who's not aware, who's not awakened enough, they're not going to be able to watch this. I'm good. They said, hey, Brother Auri, I'm good. I hope you're well too. So in order to talk about this, to get into this subject, we got to talk about the first thing is, what is God? Because we're talking about being chosen by God. And a lot of you out there have been chosen. And a lot of you out there know you have been chosen. But you run into people all the time who are telling you you're not chosen. Okay? And so for those people who are running into that, I wanted to equip you with some information to teach you. So the first thing we have to hit on is, universe, collective consciousness. Yeah, what is God? So if you could comment below what you think God is. I want to see people commenting below. I got one, universe, collective consciousness. Can we get some more? Comment below, what is God? What do you think God is? Because before we can really talk about being chosen or being selected, we got to talk about chosen or selected by who? Who's doing the selecting? Who's doing the choosing? Right? So I got universe, collective consciousness, Elohim. I'm going to need more. The light to do good. The light to do good. I like that. Elohim, that happens to be my name. Universe, collective consciousness. The higher power that connects all together. Everything. Energy, light, right? And so we're on the same page. So people often get stuck on the who is God, but it's very important to talk about the what is God. You got to understand that each and every religion, whether it be Hinduism, African traditional religions, Christianity, talks about a concept that God is everywhere, right? And that God is far but close. God is here but there. God is in you and outside of you. God is up, God is down. And so many people get lost. And some people believe this is just talking about pantheism. but it's much, much more than that. You have to understand that universe, God, existence are all wordplay. You got to understand that when you play with words, you play with reality because we manifest our conscious reality through the words we speak. And literally, I can come into a room and speak certain words, and it'll change the entire dynamic of the room. The whole room will change just based on the words that I say. If I'm speaking another language and my language dies out, then that culture and that reality dies out with it. That paradigm, that matrix created within that culture dies out with it. So words are very important. And what they do to people today is they act like God, universe, and existence are different things, right? And so then they'll ask you questions like, how do you know God is real? Prove God is real. But someone asking you to prove God is real is almost the equivalent of someone asking you to prove the universe is real, prove existence is real, right? It's obvious that existence is real. It's obvious that the universe is real. But if you make me go and try to verify it outside of my five senses, I'm going to have a pretty hard time. And so it's really almost like a trick question when people ask you that. So God and existence are one, but also understand this, that words are not enough. Sorry, I heard something. Words are not actually enough to quantify or describe God. So always know that. We're just using the tools that we have now, but we don't have enough words. We don't have enough language. And in fact, we might need less words to truly describe what God really is. But for right now, let's just say existence, universe, the all. Now, we do not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out the mouth. Exactly. And please contribute to the conversation. I like to read comments. I like to see what you're thinking and where you're at. So that's what God is. So now we spoke about God is the universe. God is existence. God is the all around you, right? So then we have to ask the next question. How does God create, right? Because we often talk about creation. And we talk about God making things, but we often don't understand how exactly God goes about creating things. Okay, so God uses something called, which we actually all use, which is self-replication. Self-replication. Now, for some people, you're going to think that's somehow forbidden tongue right there. That's something that should not be said. But I will challenge you and say that there is nothing in any holy book that I've written that is against self-replication being what creation is. And you have to think about the micro and the macro, right? When they say so above, so below. Why is it like that? Why are children like their parents and parents like their children? Why are the stars aligned to us and why are we aligned to the stars? What is going on here? How come we can look at the universe, the galaxies, and everything out there in the expanded space and look within us and see the same things? It's because the way that God creates is through self-replication. And when you cut the meditation on a second. Yeah, I got you. I got you on the December at 7 p.m. And so when you have a being replicating itself over and over and over, there are going to be pieces and parts of that being within the manifestation remanifested over and over and over and over again. And that's why when someone says that you are one with God, that's what they're talking about, that you are a manifestation of God. Understand that there are different manifestations of God. And when somebody says the Most High, right? When these different cultures, Amun-Re, El Elyon, the Most High, all these different terminologies for the Most High, what they're talking about is the highest manifestation of the all, right? And we use words like highest, but frequencies, colors might be a better, or variations might be a better explanation of that. And so there's an infinite amount of everything, whether it be universes, people, humans, space. There's an infinite amount because it just keeps going and it's not going to stop. You have to understand that. And that is how God creates things. And that's why everything is so plentiful. And that's why you can see yourself in the stars and the stars can see themselves in you. That's why I can look at you and know that we have the same organs and heart without going in there and cutting open your chest, because these things are self-replicated, right? And so you have to understand that that's being made in the image of God, or that's how God creates, and thus and so forth. So I hope I explained that pretty well for those who are watching. And how does natural selection work, right? So now we're going to go into the next thing, because natural selection is a part of God's creation process. So what a lot of people try to do is, a lot of you have been hoodwinked, right? Bamboozled, right? Me and my wife would say that, right? So what that means is a lot of you have been tricked to separate things from one another. So they told you that God's creation and God's creating process and evolution are two different things, right? Similar to how they say that God and the universe are two separate things. This is to control your reality, because once you know that these things exist, it changes you and you become more powerful. You literally become more powerful the more you know of God, spirit, spirituality. So they have to disconnect you from these realities with words. Again, words dictate and control reality. So if I can make you not believe in these things, or make you think that these things are opposing when really these things come together, I win the battle, right? And so how does natural selection work? So natural selection is a process of God. And I'm going to explain exactly what I mean by that. Genetic mutations that are beneficial to an individual's survival are passed on through reproduction. This results in a new generation of organisms that are more likely to survive to reproduce. In other words, nature, remember we already talked about this, the all, is selecting. Let me say it again. The all is selecting things to move forward and create more. And it is also selecting things to stop creating more. Right? So you understand that. There's a difference. So you have, going back to what I was saying, you have reproduction, self-replication, because that's what that is. Reproduction, to reproduce, to replicate yourself. You have that, and that goes on and on and on, and that's selected from nature, natural, universe, natural selection. So that's God selecting. That's God creating. Now, again, they would have you believe that God creating things and natural selection are two separate events. They are not. The evidence of God and what God does is happening right in front of you all the time, all day. But using words to manipulate your reality would have you believe that when someone brings up natural selection, they are somehow taking away from the creation process of God. Okay, so that's how natural selection works. What does it mean to be naturally selected? Your past creates your future. Your past is alive and it is making decisions. So, based on the things your ancestors have done previously, determines how you look today. Let me say that again. Based on what your ancestors have done previously, what they have been selected to do previously, right, determines what you're doing in this moment. Because if they were not selected to even reproduce, you would not even be here in this manifest form. You are this concentrated energy form that you are today, right now. I know it's getting heavy for some of y'all. It's getting a bit heavy, but I got to give this to you, because we're going to explain why you are chosen and why this started off with 200 people, but now we're down to 18, because that's natural selection. People are being selected. I'm getting ahead of myself. Don't want to get ahead of myself. We're almost there. Don't want to get too ahead of myself. Please make sure you're liking this and sharing this, because again, it's going to push it out to more people who are like me and you who need to hear this message. All right. So, next step. What does it mean to be the next step in human evolution? What does it mean to be the next step in human evolution? Okay, here's what I need you to do. If you're watching me right now, here's what I need you to do. I need you to look at me, and I need you to imagine this, right? Imagine this. Evolution has no direction. Stay with me, because I know before I was saying that God selects. Hear me out. Evolution has no direction, because evolution are the staircases. Try to imagine a staircase that has an infinite amount of directions. Most of those staircases will lead you back to the same place. Follow me? I'm putting you on to something. Let me say that again. Try to imagine a staircase that has an infinite amount of steps and staircases, and most of them will lead you back to the same place that you started. Very few of those stairs and those steps will lead you to your demise or your death. And even fewer will lead you to your best self. Even fewer will lead you to your best self. Now hear me out. Here I'm about to go. The chosen are a piece of this rare staircase that leads you to your best self. That's even more rare than the staircase that is leading the children of men. The children of men. Okay? I'm trying to tell y'all, I'm trying to put y'all on something right now. I hope y'all listening. I hope y'all liking. I hope y'all sharing. Okay? So before I go forward, I'm going to say again, we started with over 300. I said multiple times, this is for the chosen, this is for the chosen. They naturally, through God, were selected to leave. And there were some who were selected to stay. There are the staircases right there before you. You get what I'm saying? So these are decisions that we make, and we call it evolution, but it's really like an algorithm set by God. Like an autonomous machine made, right, to allow us to be created into our best selves through what we call free will. Through what we call decision making. Understand what I'm saying? All right? So, we're going to go even further in this. Pay attention. Shout out to, I was going to say of Google, who shared this to 10 people. All right? I see you. So, you have two branches going on right now. This part, a lot of y'all not ready for. A lot of you are ready for. We'll see who's selected. So, there's two branches going on right now. There are two next steps in human evolution. Remember, evolution has no clear direction. So not every path is a good path. Most paths are stagnant. Some paths are bad, and even fewer lead you to your highest self, to a better place. Okay, you have the children of men, the children of God. These are the two next steps of human evolution. I am calling the children of men children of God because the religious language, what you call religious language, what I call the language of God, triggers awakenings and inspiration in people, and it's easier to understand. Spiritual language is made for the brain to understand because your brain conceives through metaphors and pictures, not through sound. But that's another topic for another day. So the children of men are those, right, who are changing genetically and socially to become something other than we are that leads to entropy and destruction and will ultimately turn them into the snake that bites his own tail. Let me say it again. The children of men are the people who are creating a bloodline, the next step of human evolution, that will lead them to becoming something else. Some of these people will become AIs. Right? There will be something other. It all leads to other than humans. Some will be uploaded into databases. Some, because they're injecting things in their bodies, I can't say what it is, continuously every single year because people tell them to do it, are going to be unable to conceive. And remember, I'm not just talking about conceive genetically, I'm also talking about socially. They will not be able to pass down their ways genetically nor socially. And eventually they will turn into creatures that are the parasite and the vampire of the world that is out specifically to suck the resources out of every living thing, including planet and sun and star, until there is no more left. That's what they're turning into. That's what they're turning into. Thank you for sending that unconditional love and gratitude and compassion. I send it back. But that's what they're going to turn into. Those are what I call the children of men. Then you have the children of God, the chosen. And this is what I'm talking about, the chosen. Remember, natural selection, nature selects, nectar, God selects. The creator selecting, that's creation. And we're talking about natural selection. Now, the other branch of the human evolution, the next step of human evolution, are the chosen. This is why I try to tell people. You think I'm saying chosen as, some people, I should say, think I'm saying the chosen as some sort of clickbait. Because there's so many people out there saying it and not understanding what it meant. I'm on a mission. I have something to do. I've been given a clear mission. I am doing something here. I'm not playing games with not any of you. There is a plan set forward that is in the first book, which most of you already read. That's at the link in my page. Some people don't even know that that book is leading to another book and another book that is going to explain and give you guidance to what we're here to do. Another topic for another day. That's why some of you should follow and subscribe. But the children of God, understand, are the chosen people who are here to create a world that not only they can thrive in, as the children of men are trying to do and failing at, but also the environment around them can thrive in, because the children of God understand that the environment and the human are one. And if you destroy, as my hunter-gatherer brothers and sisters would say, don't they know when they destroy the forest, they destroy us? No, children of men don't know that. They're not made to know that. They're not selected to know that. All they know is to take, take, take. And you're a human, free to take. But the more you take, the more enslaved you become. Come, walk with me, realize the earth is free. Children of God. Okay? Now, the chosen are here, right? And those who do not understand that every decision you make, of course, can take you to different realities, but also takes universes and humans are the same thing. So when you have an individual human going towards one direction in natural selection, that's an entire universe. There are universes within universes, so above, so below. God self-replicates, as we talked about. So, all that to say, for the ones who watch this entire video, you are the chosen. And I am not saying this to try to inflate your ego. Understand, this is not an ego journey that we're on right now. Understand that there are people out there who are going to try to stop you from changing the world, and they're going to tell you you can't. All you can do is change yourself. Not understanding that you are the world. What do you mean all I can change is myself? Am I just this? Absolutely not. I breathe the air. I'm trading atoms with everything around me every day. So true change of myself will always be changed on a planetary level. But when they ask you to close yourself off, and that the only thing that you can change is your one life, they are lying to you. They are lying to you. And the powerful stay in control by pacifying you, right? With spiritual doctrine that keeps your eyes shut and keeps your body, bound. And there's nothing wrong with having a religion. There is only something wrong if it convinces you not to move on your spiritual purpose. Because many of you have been tricked by propaganda to believe that your purpose is a career. That your purpose is a game. That your purpose is to feed the industrial machine. That your purpose is to feed civilization. No, no, no. That is not it. You have been lied to, my friend. Many have been lied to. Okay, so I'm going to open up the comments and I'm going to take any questions that you have or any statements. If you have over 1,000 followers, you are more than welcome to join the live. I know the chosen are going to stay with me on this journey and listen in, because we got a lot of work to do. And if you are following me on my page, then you already know. And if you went to the link at the top of the description, not only have you seen the book, but you've seen FAMS, Food, Forest, Foraging, Hunting, Anti-Fragile, Modern Society. All right, something that we're creating that you don't need me to create. You can create it on your own. In fact, there's going to be instructions coming out in 2023 showing you exactly how to do that. Going to show you an anti-fragile ability to make yourself safe in any situation. Oh yes. Oh yes. That book is coming. Because I have a mission. All right. And I gotta get it out. I gotta push it out to you. All right, so let me read some of these. Religion is designed to confuse you with your faith. I completely disagree with that notion. All due respect. All right? And thank you for that compliment of wisdom. But I disagree that religion is designed to confuse you. No. Respect. All right? And thank you for that compliment of wisdom. But I disagree that religion is designed to confuse you. No. Respect. All right? And thank you for that compliment of wisdom. But I disagree that religion is designed to confuse you. No. Context means everything. Context means everything. Context means everything. A chessboard is bound to its set of rules. If I remove all the rules from chess, it becomes nothing. You lose all the fun in it. So let me go even further, right? And so I'm not saying you should do this, but what some people will do when they don't have enough people on hand to watch a baby, they'll put a baby in a crib, which is really a cage, or a pack and play, which is really a cage. But they put them in there to bind them. Are they binding them because they hate them? No. They're binding them. Am I still breaking up? Let me know if I'm still breaking up. They hate them? No. They're binding them. Am I still breaking up? Let me know if I'm still breaking up. To make sure I'm not talking to myself, because you know they like to play games on TikTok when I'm giving my knowledge, when I'm sharing wisdom. I'm lagging. Am I still lagging? Am I still lagging? My brother tried to call me, but I can't talk right now because I'm on here. Am I still lagging? Just keep going. He said just keep going, so I'm going to keep going. All right. So, religion does mean to bind. But you got to understand that bondage is not always a bad thing. Okay? So if I take a baby and I put the baby in a pack and play, which is a cage, which is bondage, something to bind them, to keep them in one place, in one area, it is not because I hate the baby. It is not because I want to confuse the baby. It is not because I want to hurt the baby. No, in fact, it's because the baby is not at a developmental level in order to stay safe within the environment that is around it. So to keep the baby safe, I put the baby in a form of bondage. Let me go even further. All right? So you have, I used to breed dogs. I don't anymore. I've trained dogs. I don't anymore. But I'm a big dog lover. Okay? And I used to tell people there are 3 types of dogs. Okay? There's your dog like the dog I got. He just understood at an early age, cars will hurt you. Stay close. Do not get harmed by wandering too far. He just understood. Never had to teach him. But then I had another dog and her sister who just ran out all the time. They would run out all the time and they would chase things. And one of them got hit by a car and she died. It was a very sad day for my entire family. Right? And so there are some dogs that need leashes until they are taught how to interact with the dangerous world around them that we call civilization. I wish they weren't on chains and in cages, but they were domesticated. And because they were domesticated and introduced to this place that we call civilization, they must be given instruments and tools in order to survive it, that we call leashes, kennels, cages. Now, like dogs, you have been domesticated. You have been forcibly taken into a civilization, and you have forgotten the ways of the hunter-gatherers, forgotten the ways of your ancestors. So, in order to stay sane and safe in this society, you have God send messages through spiritual people to help people not go crazy within what we call the matrix, within what we call civilization. So not everybody is like you. Understand that. Some people don't need any religion. Like I said, my dog, he's never needed a leash. He's never needed a kennel. He just understands the world around him, what is dangerous, what is not. Understand that's how a lot of people, some of you watching this, are like that spiritually, that you don't need one. But there are some people that if I remove their religion from them, they become crackheads. If I remove their religion from them, they go out to the streets. If I remove their religion from them, they become abusers. Some of them would even commit, would take their own lives. And so you need to understand that before you take that from somebody, a religion from somebody, you need to have a good substitute, right? Before you rip that foundation from that house, you have to make sure there's something there to keep it all together. Because if you don't have something there to keep it all together, it's going to fall apart. Right? And so oftentimes we project ourselves and our own wisdom onto the world. We project it onto the world, but not everybody is ready for that level of consciousness that you already have, and some people need more time. One of my favorite people of all time, one of the people I looked up to since I was a little kid, was Malcolm X. Malcolm X was off in the streets selling drugs. He was a pimp and everything. He was introduced to a religion that straightened him up and cleaned him up and turned him into the man that everybody on the planet loves today. So some people need some boundaries, right? In order to live a full life within this cage that you call civilization. And not until we escape civilization will no one need any religion. Because then they will be with God. And one with God in all ways. Not just in, but out. Right? So, you have to understand, we got 30 on the chat, where we were, that we have to understand that that's the way it goes. And that religion, though it might annoy a lot of us, is necessary for a lot of people until it is not. So, please keep adding to the conversation. We need each other because we learn from each other. That's right. I learn from all of you every day. The game does not end, but it changes, for better or worse. We need to be strong. That's right. We need to continue to be strong. We need to continue to be strong. We need to understand that this place that you're living in was not designed for you. Was not designed for you. The reason why a lot of you are sad and hurt, the reason why a lot of you are going through what you're going through is because you are like an animal living in the wrong environment. Have you ever been to the zoo? Who here has been to the zoo? Let me know in the comments below. Who here has ever been to a zoo? Please let me know if you've been to a zoo. While you guys are writing that in the comments, I'm going to tell you a story. Me and my family, as my wife and kids, and my mom and everybody else, we went to a zoo. I went to the zoo because my daughter loves animals, and she really wanted to go. So I took her, but I don't like zoos. And this is the reason why I don't like them. We go into the primate section, and they are depressed. I mean, just utterly sad. You can see it all over them. Not moving slow, down, throwing up, eating it, just disgusted. I mean, they were so sad. The space was so small. And I can see in their eyes as the big male gorilla looked at me, I could see in his eyes that it was trying to figure out why. What is the point of all of this? That's what a lot of you ask. Because you don't realize that civilization is a zoo made for humans. And that humans have forgotten what they are. They tell you if you're unhappy, it's your fault. But is it the fault of a lion behind a cage that is not happy? Is it the fault of a bird in a cage that it cannot fly? Will we blame the fish when they no longer swim? Will we blame the tiger when it cannot hunt? You are meant for something, but you are not meant for a 9 to 5. And the sooner many of you realize that, the more you understand why you feel as you feel right now today. The sooner many of you realize that, you'll understand how you got to feeling the way you feel. The chosen often ask me, they often say, why am I so sad? Is there anybody else here as sad as I am? Why am I so down? And not talking about me, they're talking about themselves. You're down and you're sad because your body and your brain cannot make heads or tails of the situation that you're in. Your body does not understand why you're in an environment in which you do not belong to. Understand that civilization was made for productivity, not for humanity. It is centered around producing more things. It is not centered around you. Civilization is really good at growing because it's made for productivity. What it's not good at is self-sufficiency. Is having the ability to sustain itself. It's not good at that. It's not good at that. And that's why the gods always correct civilizations. They only have a 350-year span, somewhere around that. And then they collapse. Let me read some of these comments. Thanks for sharing. Keep sharing this video. Keep liking it. Do the people who control civilization practice Satanism? Seems humans are going against their natural, compassionate, cooperative, and empathetic nature. They don't have to worship Satanism. All right? I'll tell you something really quick. This is not meant to be literal. Okay? Nothing I say spiritual is necessarily meant to be taken literally. Okay? Unless I break it down for you, then that's literal. But there's God, right? And God had two children, right? Entropy, or destruction, or Loki, or Satan, or Shiva, whatever you want to call it. And order, or angel, or Jesus, or Christ, or whatever you want to call it, right? And these two beings, entropy and order, all right, are constantly going around everywhere. They're twins. They're made of one another. But they're different. One destroys everything, and one rebuilds everything. Okay? Now, some people are going to be more in tune, the children of men, with entropy. They're going to be one with things that break everything down and destroy everything. And guess what? Destruction is not evil. It actually is necessary. All right? So Satanism, Satan just means the enemy, right? And if you are of order, then many times it would seem that your enemy is destruction. It would seem. Topic for another day. But, right? So those people who are creating civilization are creating ordered chaos. Because remember, like yin and yang, entropy is in order and order is in entropy, right? Organization is in disorganization. Disorganization is in organization, right? Understand that at all times. In order to have black, you must have white. In order to have white, you must have black. You cannot have one without the other. So they don't have to practice Satanism in that way. A lot of them do. But all they have to do is be in tune with being the children of men, right? And so by their own nature, they will destroy things. And civilization, the incentive of civilization is to produce more things. But it is not made for humans. So that's why humans are acting the way they're acting, because you're in an environment that's not made for you. You cannot legislate behavior. You cannot legislate behavior. I learned this as a teacher. I used to be a teacher before I worked for myself. And one thing I started understanding is that no matter how many rules I write on the board, I cannot make them follow it because I write the rules. I have to set the class in a certain way, in a certain manner, that it makes it easier for them to follow that direction. And so when you're in your natural environment, the environment is made in such a way for you to be your best self. But when you're outside of your natural environment, it's made in such a way that incentivizes you to be your worst self. Okay, facts. Reason why I say question the way you think and why you think like that. Yes, always, always. And always keep a little pocket in the back of your brain that you might be wrong. I am not anybody's Messiah. I am not anybody's prophet. I do not know all things, and I will never pretend to. I only got this far in knowledge because I always keep a pocket in the back of my mind that I am wrong. And that is the only way that you can keep learning. I lived the life of a professional war fighter for 21 years in the corps. It's an easy life for me. Very interesting. I want to hear more about that. That's very interesting. Perfectly explained. Thank you. What are you saying? What you were saying is so peaceful. Oh, thank you. I just want people to understand that it is not your fault. The reason, right? Now you have responsibility for your life. Don't get me wrong. Only someone with a devilish intent tells you that you have no responsibility, but it isn't your fault. The reason, the way things are right here, that you didn't make that. You didn't make it this way. You didn't design the world this way. You were born into it. The way things are right here, that you didn't make that. You didn't make it this way. You didn't design the world this way. You were born into it, right? Long, long ago, someone ate of the forbidden fruit. That's a conversation for another day. And it's a metaphor, people. Please don't take holy books literally. You can if you want. I'm not here to police you. But you'll gain so much more richness from it if you understand that it is allegorical language meant for the people who are awakening. And when you understand that, you can look at certain things when it comes to forbidden fruit and understand what really happened, what they were really talking about, right? All right, so I'm a retired professional magician for over 30 years. Now I'm a spiritual teacher of unconditional love. Yes, and unconditional love is. I'm a retired professional magician for over 30 years. Now I'm a spiritual teacher of unconditional love. Yes, and unconditional love is important. I like magicians. I actually want to go back and study some magic. But to move forward in this discussion, I want to ask again, does anybody have any questions for me? Please fill the comments with questions. If I said anything that just doesn't make sense, do not feel afraid to ask. If you don't agree with something, do not feel bad to share. I have no problem with disagreements. I actually think that's how things get better. That's how you create an anti-fragile community. You have to have pushback. You have to have chances to grow. And I hope all of you understand that there's no way that I could possibly always be right. And that I do have the right to change my mind upon further information and evidence. As you should always remember about yourself. Because once you get stuck in a place where you always have to be right, well, you stop growing. And you become that plant in a pot that is too small. Right? So we have to remain vigilant, and that we have to keep learning and keep progressing. I know you run your live as a business. No, I don't run my live as a business. If I had subscribers, if anybody wants to support me, it would be great by subscribing. I don't even think I have that turned on. I know a lot of people on live have that feature turned on. It is welcome, though. I do not think that it is bad for anyone. One thing I see too much, I don't know if it's just the communities I grew up in, is broke activists and broke religious leaders. I always it always confused me. We let the bankers rob you. You go to the bank, you give them money. You let the fast food restaurants rob you. You give them money to make you unhealthy. But the people who you let the fast food restaurants rob you. You give them money to make you unhealthy. But the people who give you what you ask for, a spiritual healing, right? Like, I would have no problem with paying a spiritual healer. I paid people for meditation courses. I paid for spiritual books. And I'm not saying that you said this, but I don't. I know a lot of people believe that selling things are bad. I do sell my book. My book is to be sold. But guess what? I made sure that it's free for everybody who gets it. The only people paying me is the company. You all get it for free. I set my books up in a way that you get it for free. You get it for free. And further, I think it's great. If anybody here has a spiritual calling, you should be sustained for sustaining others. The last thing that I want to see from anybody on here that's spiritual in any sense of the word is that you're broke because you've decided to leave your job and not to be enslaved. And then the people who told you after you left your job and followed your spiritual journey that you cannot charge. I've never had a meditation course, but that you cannot charge for your medication, meditation courses. What? What? So you leave your job so that you can escape the system. And then you want to show people how to leave their job and escape the system. But they tell you that you cannot sustain yourself within this industrial world that we all live in. I think that's insane. And if anybody has anything that they want me to buy from them, please drop it in the comments. I would love to support you. I don't think there's anything. If you're doing something good, I would love to pay you for that. I would love to pay you for that. So if you have anything good to offer, please put it down in the comments. And I hope people can see it and know that if you're offering something genuine and true, that you deserve to be given something in return. And you should never feel ashamed from prospering from your gifts. Do not deserve to be given something in return. And you should never feel ashamed from prospering from your gifts. Do not let anyone make you feel ashamed for that. But I do make sure that all my books are free because it's a message given to me by God. And though I do have to eat and my family have to eat, I understand that people don't have money. And so that's why if you go on Audible, for those who get in the book, you don't have to pay for it. Get a free trial, download it, and then they'll give you a free credit. Download it for free. And if you don't, and before the free trial is over, you can cancel the subscription after you read the book. You got a month to do it. and then it's free. You got the book. You read it. You got it for free. I still got paid from the company. You got it for free. We all won. I get to feed my family, and you get to feed yourself some spiritual nourishment. I get to spread the mission, and you get to learn more. I think that's a win-win for everybody. Let me read the next questions. I'm glad you asked that. I pay people for things. I do not have a problem paying. If y'all want to hear me dump on people who charge for their tarot cards or charge for their meditation stuff, the only time I'm against that is when people are being scam artists. We're not giving. So if I tell you that this book is written for the chosen and that God has given this to me, know that I am telling you the truth. Now, if I wasn't telling you the truth, that would be called a scam. Understand that. So if someone's saying, I'm going to spiritually heal you, and they cannot do that, and you pay for it, that is wrong. But if somebody says, I'm going to spiritually heal you, and I want $20 for that, $50, whatever they charge, if they give it to you, then that's okay. If they don't give it to you, it's bad. So y'all have to learn to separate those two different types of spiritual leaders on these platforms. But yes, if anybody would like to support me, you can subscribe to my live. I don't think I have that set up. I'm a mother and grandmother, and I'm concerned about the way our children are being taught today. You should be concerned. You should be concerned. But guess what? You were taught wrong. You were taught wrong. And so were your parents before you. Schools are not made to teach humans to have the best lives. It has never been made to do that. As you know, it's been made to make you believe in a certain reality. It's been made to make sure that you're a slave. I was in the school system. The first thing they will do to you and your children is bring up a piece of paper, and they'll give it to them, and they say, what do you want to be? And what they're really telling them is, you can only be these things. What is your purpose? And they try to align serving a corporation with your purpose, which is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But they'll do it to your children. They've done it to you. Now they're doing a completely different thing. We're not going to get into it, but I think we both know. And this is just meant to confuse people. And if you have your children in these schools because you must, then you need to also take action after school. But I wouldn't judge people today who are learning what they're learning in the schools today, because we've all been lied to. It's just more lies. There's a lot of lies that I believe in to this day that I gotta get out and I gotta work on. So I'm not here to condemn anybody for believing what these schools are teaching them. Why wouldn't they? I still believe a lot of things that my school has taught me. I've re-educated myself and found out the vast majority is wrong, but I'm sure going to find out more things that I believe in our lives. Just give it time, right? And so you should be concerned, though. As a former teacher, you should be very concerned. It's concerning what's going on in the schools today, but it was always concerning. I paid for some spiritual healing. Good. If you were healed, I hope then it was good. All right. You agree that only bad people have a lot of money? No. I do not agree that. I agree that most people who have a lot of money are bad. I can't say that all people who have a lot of money are bad, though. I just couldn't say that. I couldn't make a claim like that. I do understand. I do think that people need to, like, if you got $1 million today, I would tell you to get rid of it and buy a bunch of land and create a sustainable life and follow the instructions of FAMS. Because the more that we just take the earth back, like, for example, if we share the earth, we're trillionaires. If we fight over it, then we'll be poor, right? And so we have to understand that money comes from love of resources. And the love of resources just comes from freedom. We only love resources like water, like land, because we're supposed to be free and enjoy these things free, and that we're made to have these things. And I don't think there's anything wrong with people who are in a society that is demanding them to make money, and then some of those people get really good at it. I'm not here to tear them down. I'm not here to tear anybody down. I'm not that type of person. I was that type of person for a little bit. I'm just not that type. I'm not. That's not me. So whether you got $1 billion or no money in your account, that doesn't make you good or evil. I believe your actions make you good or evil. If you got $1 billion, like that billionaire that literally bought a giant section of the Amazon rainforest just so that nobody can cut it down, that doesn't sound like an evil person to me. So I can't say if you got a lot of money you're evil. I would say it's always about your actions. It's always about what you do with it. Money is the equivalent. It's like in different universes, they got superpowers, like they're shooting beams from their hands and lasers from their eyes. In this universe, superpowers is money because the way that they had created civilization. Now, there's other superpowers: meditation, astral projection, um, understanding people, being an empath, seeing different realities, traveling different realities. I can go so on and so forth, but that doesn't mean that money isn't a superpower. Unfortunately, we have more supervillains and superheroes. So you have more people who have a lot of money who are just spending all their money to make people's lives worse and to profit from people having bad lives. But you have those other people who are working day and night to change the world for the better. And I just can't judge them. I know a lot of you disagree with that because we live in this blame culture, this punitive culture that everybody got to be. I'm not a part of that. So, I just said that today. Human basic needs are water, food, and shelter and clothing. Have you heard of the Venus Project? I heard of it. I do not know a lot about it. If you want to elaborate, please elaborate. I really need money only for my human basic needs. Or I don't really need money for my basic human needs. That's right. Which book? I couldn't find it online. Okay, so there's the first book. The first book is a book written for the chosen. All right, I get messages from God and I write them down and I give it to people. That's what I do. You can get it for free on Audible. It's in the link. Okay. Yo, you video spoke out to me. I'm glad. I hope it keeps speaking to people. Listen, y'all, my only mission here is to guide the children of God back into the proper place that we're supposed to be at. And you don't need me. I'm here to give the instructions. Once I give the instructions, you'll have an option. You can go and do it or you cannot. I don't need anybody to even believe me. I don't. I just have to do what I'm supposed to do. As long as I do what I'm supposed to do and it reaches y'all, great. Great. As long as it reaches you, you have the decision to be selected, right? So I'm glad that these videos are reaching you. We are all indoctrinated since birth for financial gain. Yes, I agree. Somebody said exactly. What were the stages of your spiritual awakening? Feel as if I am on the raw stages. Woo! My spiritual awakening was very raw, is very raw, and there's nothing I can do about that. There is nothing, because you're always waking up. Once you stop waking up, you're dead. So, but I'll say this. Since I was a child, I came here knowing things. So at first, I would say that I was awake. And so when a lot of you were born awake, or awakening conscious, whatever you want to call it. And then what happened was they gave you a bunch of junk food to change the neurons in your brain, to put toxins in your brain, to destroy whatever connection you had, and to normalize you is what they would call it, right? To assimilate you to modern society. And then on top of that, they'll start telling you what's real and what's not. Televisional programming is to simply tell you what is fiction and what is not fiction, what is real and what is not. That's all. That's all it does. It used to, if you remember, your TV used to tell you at the beginning whether it was fiction or non-fiction. That's programming. That's telling you what can be and what cannot be. Right? So we all know that. That's not new to us. And so as a kid, I came here just knowing things, and I saw a lot of things. I won't go into detail, but things that most people don't see. And it's terrified me. Because why? Because I had a television that told me that when you see things, those things are evil. Right? So if you're programmed to believe that if you see things, that you're either crazy or that they are demons trying to attack you, you're not going to have a good experience. And I prayed every night that God would take it away. God did not take it away. So I had to live with it. And I intentionally went to sleep. I intentionally did not want to be who I was anymore. And I wanted to be normal so bad. So bad. I would pray to be normal. Isn't that sad? I used to pray to be normal. And I think for about like 3 years, I kind of got it. I was like in a sleep state. Then boom, it all came back. So, it was like this for me, right? eventually I had a being, that's been trying to talk to me since I was a kid. I won't go too far into this. It's a lot. But I just listened. It was trying to talk to me all these years. I thought it was a demon. It wasn't. It was just trying to give me a message. After it gave me the message, it left. I never saw it again. Never saw it again. So I hope that's a lesson to a lot of you. All right. How do I get the book? The book is in the link, my profile at the very top. It's up there, and I hope you get it. And I wish you the best on your journey, because not everybody can make it through it. Not everybody's going to receive the call when they listen to the book, when they read the book. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. But as I wake up, I get upset with not being able to correct it. Wait, she said something before that, I think. I didn't understand. I'm sorry. What about Montessori school? That's fine. That's what you want to do. That's fine. People with a lot of money have power. Yes, people with a lot of money have power. Nelson Mandela once said, poverty is man-made. Okay. Poverty is a creation. Poverty does exist for other creatures out in nature. There's another primate group, I think it's the rhesus monkeys, who create poverty. But for the most part, it's not natural for us to be impoverished. Poverty came with agriculture. Humans existed for millions of years without agriculture. Can you believe that? Millions of years. And we're happier, had less diseases, had straighter teeth, were stronger, lived longer. They don't tell you that in history school, but any of you could look it up. This is just known through anthropology. This is basic anthropology. This is not some like conspiracy. This is known that agriculture it's terrible for humans. It's horrible. And then the Industrial Revolution, even worse. And in modernity, modern lives today, the worst thing. And what? Poverty only got worse. Poverty only got worse. Poverty only got worse. There are more people enslaved now than ever. So, homelessness is high, very high, in one of the richest places in the world. So, Ascension is coming to give us superpowers. Yeah, it's coming, but you already got superpowers. It's just that your superpowers have been normalized. Very normalized. See, again, the way that they control our realities is by playing with words. So, like the word dream. You were just dreaming. Dreams are fake. Dreams are fake? How are dreams fake? And if dreams go on in my brain, how do I walk through endless blades of grass? How do I fly in the sky? Can you show me the sky in my brain? What about that Tyrannosaurus Rex that I dreamt about as a child? Can you cut my brain open while I'm dreaming and see it? Obviously you can. So you can create an entire reality in a sleep state. And then they tell you none of that's real. I've lucid dreamed. I spoke to the dream characters. They told me that they have lives separate from me. And then they tell you, here's another interesting thing. They tell you if you created it, it is fake. If you created it, if you created the reality, it is fake because you mentally created it. Interesting. Very interesting. So I would already argue that we have unspeakable powers, but they're hidden behind language. Fantasy, right? Your dream is fantasy. It's fake. No, it's real. It's all real. It's extremely real. No, only God have astral projection. Others have spiritual projection. I agree with you 100. What's the name of the book? The name of the book is The First Book. The First Book by Elohim Ali. It is not hard to find if you put that whole thing in. Audible has been advertising it without me. I haven't asked them to. But again, when you're just in line with the mission that God gives you, I promise y'all, things are going to be all right. Do not fight it. Go with it. But you also have to understand the difference between, the universe telling you to do something and your ego. That's hard. And your lower self. Yeah, that's hard. That's a talk for another day. Can I read my poem when you're live? You sure can read your poem on my live. I'm trying to catch up on these questions. What's your life path number? I don't remember it. I did it a long time ago. I could redo it though. Okay, tell me, where is God now? If you give correct answer, I believe you. Where is God now? God is the all. God is far but near. God is here and there. You're talking to God. When I talk to you, I'm talking to God. I might not be talking to the highest manifestation of God, which is the God that most cultures worship, but know that you cannot escape God. There is no escape from God. God is all-encompassing. Junk food has a lot of toxicity. Yes, it does. They both come from the same world. You're 9 or God told me. You're 9 or God told me. I don't know. It's hard to be chosen around bad people. You just feel bad energy. Yeah, don't go around them. And if they're at work, I get that, but just stay away from people with bad energies. Right? Do not dilute your environment, people. I'm a master number 33, which means I'm a master teacher of Christ consciousness for universal sovereignty. Okay. Mine's like that too, like a wave. Yes. Okay. So I'm late with these comments. Excuse me as I catch up. Agriculture bad. So follow the. Thank you for the follow, the sexy 888. Creator Shiva, Mother of Universe. Words are spells. Man, that's a talk for another day. Words are spells. Words are technology. Language is a technology that humans made a long time ago for a much different purpose. Not just communication, but for molding reality. Another talk for another day. Words 100%. Addictions and laws of all these beautiful people. So sad. What does an airplane dream mean? You cast spells with words. That's right. I have an answer to end poverty. It will take every one of us to make it happen. So do I. Maybe we can link on that. God created us from elements of the earth. We belong and thrive most with nature. That's right. The dark archon control us and the elites in our thoughts. Interesting. You are living in the spirit. Third, as we speak. Follow. Thanks for the follow, Krezaz. We are all individual gods, and we create our own realities through our thoughts and experiences. True. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. I believe we're both. Follow the host. Thank you. Wrong answer. God now watching you via TikTok. You can see me in your mind if I wish this. All I know is that I know nothing. All I know is that I know nothing. I always loved that ever since philosophy class. All right, somebody requested to be in and I missed them. Sorry. If you want to come into the live, I was just about to start allowing people in on live. If you want to talk to me, somebody wanted to express their poem. If you want to have a quick conversation before I go, then please come into the guest box. Let's have a talk. Let's have a discussion. I love to talk to people, and I love all these opinions and diversity of thoughts. But you need to understand, once we create FAMs, everything is going to change. Yeah, I'm not like a lot of people on these platforms who just talk and they don't have a place for you to go. No, we're making it. And you can make it on your own. You don't need me. That's the best part about this. You can go out and do it. What we're building, it's made for people to be able to do in a community, whichever place they build it. And it can't be stopped. The reason why a lot of these spiritualists have these movements that get destroyed is because of their ego. You should never make people depend on you. You can never let people depend on you. That's right. When can we expect FAMs? I'm gonna get to that. Once people depend on you, and then something happens to you, like you die, you're assassinated, you're locked up in prison, they do a whole cancel culture on you, anything like that. Once that happens, the movement is over. You gotta put your ego aside and create a movement for the people that they don't need you for in order to thrive in. Understand that. Everything you hold on to will hold you back, so let go and live. Understand that's how we originally lived. Humans didn't have material belongings, or had very few. We were never meant to have a bunch of material belongings. That's how they keep you chained down to one location. That's why you can't run and go anywhere. When can we expect FAMS? FAMS is coming soon. The instructions to create the food forest, foraging, hunting, anti-fragile modern society is coming. That will be out very, very soon. I don't know if I have it on here. I think I don't have it yet, but I will be going live again tomorrow. There will also be a live December 2nd at 7 p.m. Central, and it will be a joint meditation. We'll be all coming together to meditate. I advise that you come. We'll be all meditating and focusing on one thing at a time. I'm not the first to do this. I will not be the last, but we'll be doing a little differently than most people do it. So I am hoping that you'll be there. And I'm hoping that many of you have received knowledge and wisdom and blessings from this live. And before we go, I do want to teach you all something. I do want to harbor back on one point. That, hold on, my bad. That it is important to follow that feeling in here right now. There's a lot happening and once you take a step in the direction of children of men, there is a step coming in. As you take that step to that side, there will not be any way back. I just want to warn you. Trust this. There's a lot of propaganda out there right now, and I can't talk about it because of the platform we're on. And I don't want to divide people. And I know a lot of you have that programming in you. There's a lot of propaganda right now. And if you take this step toward the direction of children of men, at this point in time, there may be no way back. There may be no way back. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But if you walk in that direction, hey, XX, if you walk in that direction of children of men, you've made your choice. You've made your bed. You're going to have to lay in it. And that's just the way it is. Yeah, I could pray for you. Tell me exactly what I'm praying on. I just need to know at least your first name. I could pray for you. I will pray for any of you any day. I will pray for any of you any day. You just ask me to pray for you. I'll pray for you. I don't mind praying for you. I will pray for you. Please pray for me. I will bless you. And I'll pray. Violet. Violet, can you tell me what's going on? I'm not a Christian, by the way. So if y'all looking for a Christian prayer, you won't have it. I do not have any religion. I only have my relationship with God. Violet, can you give me some type of indication of what's going on? You don't have to explain out for everybody. Don't make it public, but I just need an anchor. I just need your name, and I need an anchor. Okay. So I pray differently. I want you all to watch how I pray, and I also want everybody to send a prayer out to Violet. I don't care if you're I'm not an atheist. I have a relationship with God. That's it. I don't care what religion you have. If we can all come together and simply say a prayer for somebody, or is to send positive energy, then what's the point of all this? If you can't do something so simple. God, first and foremost, I want to thank you for guiding, and I also want to thank you for existence itself. God, you have already given everything. Everything that we have is because God has provided it. So I ask you, God, for nothing. I only thank you for everything. And I give gratitude to God that Violet is even still here and breathing and living here with us. I thank the all, I thank the source, I thank the universe, I thank existence for the existence of Violet and the manifestation of her being. I want to pray to her highest self. I want to pray to her ancestors. And I want to pray for any light being or angel around her in her vicinity. And I want to ask you to watch her, to bring her peace, to bring her joy, and to show her the difference between fragility, robustness, and anti-fragility. I ask that every time a demon or a bad person or an evil spirit comes, my phone, comes in her direction, I ask you that you make her stronger. Not that you protect her, but that she has the power to protect herself. And that she develops the power and to help her and to guide her to the place where she can make her days better on her own, through her own self-empowerment. The Most High, Amen Ray, God, thank you. So, I hope that was good for you, Violet, and I wish nothing but the best for you. And as you all notice, when I pray to God, I don't ask God for anything, because God has already given everything. Humans have put obstacles in front of those things. So that's not on God. God has already given us everything. It is up to us to go out and forage it. God is the all, so therefore God has given us all. And all I can be is grateful that I'm here experiencing this. And so I hope that Violet has a better day. And I hope many of you, send out positivity to Violet and love and prayer. And I'm wishing you the best, and I'm rooting for you. Whatever you're going through, I'm rooting for you. I'm here. I'm here for all of y'all. And if you need anything, just let me know. How is God Universe? That would be a great discussion. I wish somebody came on and became a guest. There got to be one person on here with 1,000 followers. I don't like that either, TikTok. I need to make it available for everybody to go live, not just people who have 1,000 followers. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. All right, so peace and blessings. I'm going to put a video up tonight for all of you, and so stay tuned for that. And be somebody's light. And I'll be on here. I should start coming on here every day around like 5:30. It's 5:30 p.m. Central over here. I don't know what time it is over there, but I'll be whatever time it is over there. I'll be on. It's around this time every day. So I love all y'all, man. Thank you for the chosen. Stay blessed. Keep on the right path, and read the first book. And look out for the instructions to FAMS. Peace.